So kind of the big debate right now is determining if you should use an ABO campaign or a CBO campaign. I'm personally using an ABO campaign right now because that allows me to give spend to new ideas, to new ads that I want to try out. And in a scenario where CBO would make sense is that if you do have an ad style that does like actually work and you're consistently getting conversions from that ad style, then that would make sense because essentially what CBO is you're giving Meta control over the entire campaign spend, and you're saying, hey, like I want the most amount of conversions, so spend money on the ads that will help me do so, help me achieve that goal. Which usually in most scenarios, what happens is that your CBO campaign will end up just spending money on ads that, or spending most of the budget on maybe one or two ads that are actually going to convert or most likely going to convert. The issue with that though is that any new ad that you do try to test most likely is not going to get any spend, and it might take, and if they do get spend, it might take a little while to do so. But the disadvantage of using an ABO campaign is that you might be spending too much money on ads that may never have any potential, and that, you know, maybe Meta was right, maybe that new ad that you're trying to test out had no potential at all. Sometimes it's wrong, sometimes it's right though. And of course the ABO campaign requires much more hands-on. You're gonna have to watch the ads way more closely. You're gonna have to determine if it's a good idea or not to turn off the ad or give it no spend. So it does take a little bit more knowledge. While like the CBO is pretty much like Meta's, you're just handing pretty much everything over to Meta. Your main objective is to just make better and new ads that Meta can essentially test for you. So like I said in a previous video, there's not really a wrong or right answer. A lot of the time, it's dependent on your situation. And a lot of people sometimes have a hard time understanding that, you know, there's not always like the best ad style that or campaign that you should run in 2026 or something. Like everything's kind of just dependent on your budget, where you're at in terms of business, your products. Like it's all kind of dependent on that.